What's up, everyone? Welcome to our MLB Playoff Push video. It's been a while since we talked anything baseball, but now the trade deadline's over. We're gearing up for the postseason, and there are a lot of teams in contention here, a lot of storylines to watch in this unofficial second half of the MLB season. So there's a lot of uncertainty with who's going to get top spot in each division. And the all-important wild card, who's going to be playing in those one-game wild card series. So let's start off with the AL East. I think that's probably the most jam-packed division right now.
Yeah, so the AL East, you have Boston and the Rays, who we think are going to compete for that title, but you still have the Yankees and Jays to look out for.
Yeah, as I think the Yankees and the Jays will come into the conversation more when we talk about the wild card contenders. I think they're just a little too far back as it stands right now to really compete with the Rays and the Red Sox. And I firmly believe the Rays are gonna. I think they're gonna finish top of the division here. The Red Sox do have reinforcements coming. Chris Sale, as of yesterday, Alex Cora said his last rehab start, or his next rehab start, will be his last rehab start. And then he should be coming back. So some reinforcements they're pitching to make that that kind of rivalry a little more interesting at the top. But the Rays just find ways to win. The Red Sox, I find, search for ways to win right now. The Rays just kind of find it. They've got that almost championship pedigree. They were very close to winning it last year. I expect the Rays to it'll be close, but I expect the Rays to take the AL East here.
Okay. In the AL Central, seems pretty clear cut. You got the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
Is there any debate?
I mean, I think Cleveland is more of a because they're the only team that could potentially catch them. They're not double-digit games back from them right now in the division, but it's close. I think Cleveland's a team. You can discuss more about the wild card, but even then it's a little iffy. The White Sox had a great trade deadline to really solidify their spot as possibly the best team in the American League, bringing in Craig Kimbrell and Ryan Tepera for that powerful back punch in the bullpen to add to Michael Kopech, Liam Hendricks. Obviously a great bullpen. They added Cesar Hernandez as an extra bat there at second base, which makes the getting rid of Nick Madrigal a little easier. But I think their biggest thing is getting Eloy Jimenez back a lot earlier than they expected. I think that's almost their trade deadline acquisition in a way. Bringing him back, shoring up that outfield. I think this team is poised for a deep playoff run. They'll obviously win the Central here. I mean, we weren't filming the show when I first made my prediction of who I thought was going to win the World Series, but it was the White Sox. Among my friends, it raised a lot of eyebrows, but I think they're proving that they can compete with these top teams, especially the top teams in the National League, which we'll get to later.
Okay, so the AL West, we have Houston and Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland always finds ways to hang around. They're a team that, everyone thinks of them as the Moneyball team, and they are a pretty frugal team. A lot of off-the-field things going on with them, whether they'll be in Oakland in the future. But it's not distracting them from on the field. They're still competing. As of right now, they still hold that second wild card spot. They're not too far off the Astros right now, but I think the Astros will. They look really good right now. They look back to their World Series winning Astro days, maybe minus the cheating. But the Astros are a legitimate team. They didn't make too many moves at the deadline, but they're a strong enough team as it is. Altuve looks good. Correa looks good. So I expect them to most likely win this division.
Yeah, they're doing well considering the loss of George Springer, so there's that as well. And at least you have the New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies, and the Atlanta Braves. Pretty tight race.
And this is probably the tightest for a division, probably for a division win. The AL East probably is the most competitive division with 4 teams vying for the playoffs. But all these teams, as of right now, they're separated by a matter of games. So it's very close at the top. I like the Mets to win this division. I think they did more to really beef up this team, bringing in Javi Baez, who, when Lindor, he eases up the loss of Lindor right now. He's obviously on the IL. But when he comes back, that's a brilliant double play combo up the middle. And the Mets, when Jacob deGrom comes back from injury, he's still arguably will be the best pitcher of all time, but obviously the best pitcher in the game right now. So it's The Mets look good. The Braves have really disappointed me this year. Obviously it hurts losing Ronald Acuna for the year.
Yeah.
They brought in a lot of guys like Eddie Rosario, like Adam Duvall to try to ease that pain in the outfield. But it is a big loss. He was having an MVP caliber season this year. Obviously, they miss guys like Mike Soroka, who hasn't been there for a couple of years because of injury in their rotation. So they disappointed me. Freddie Freeman doesn't look like the MVP this year.
Yeah.
I think the Braves might miss the playoffs. If I had to say right now it's Mets, Phillies, Braves. I think that's how it's going to end in the season. But I think it goes down to the last series or two before you really figure out who wins this division.
Okay. The NL Central seems pretty clear cut. Yeah. Another division, Milwaukee has kind of got this division.
And it's a little surprising just the way they're doing it. Milwaukee has never really been known for their rotation, but it's because of their rotation. They arguably have 3 of the top 5 pitchers in baseball in Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta. As a lot of those guys were guys that you kind of wondered if they were using foreign substances. Now that foreign substances are banned, they're still pitching this well. So obviously they found a way to make it work without the substance use. And yeah, I think when Christian Yelich fully comes back from COVID, I think that's going to be, you kind of hope he finds his footing pretty quick. But the Brewers are a legit team.
Yeah.
So I think they win this division, no problems.
Yep. And ending off the division race, you have the NL West with the Dodgers and Giants as the front runners. San Diego still a threat, but maybe not for the division.
I really questioned whether. I think we both kind of really questioned whether they should be included in this division contenders. I think it's just too much ground to build off of when you're playing the Giants and Dodgers consistently towards the end of the year. I think the Dodgers have what it takes to pass the Giants. I mean, they should. They should. I mean, they brought in Max Scherzer. They brought in Trey Turner, Corey Seager. You never know if he's coming back. Cody Bellinger should heat up at some point. You kind of expect that from him. And, of course, they bring in Max Scherzer. They just signed Cole Hamels, too. So their rotation is gross. I mean, you wondered how would they be able to rebound when Trevor Bauer, he's on leave right now. They're going to be just fine. They replaced him with another Cy Young winner in Max Scherzer. They still have David Price. They still have Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias. And now they just add a sixth guy just because they can in Cole Hamels. So the World Series pedigree, I think, is going to really come into play. Despite the Giants making good moves, picking up Chris Bryant. I think the Dodgers have what it takes to do that, and I think the Giants could finish as the first wild card spot, which we'll move into now.
Yeah, so let's stick with the NL.
Yeah.
You have the Giants, Dodgers, because we're not sure what's going to happen there. Obviously, San Diego. Cincinnati, St. Louis. And again, the Mets, Phillies, or the Braves.
Yeah, you can throw the Cardinals in there too. I think the wild card. You include those names, but I think the wild card is really going to be the second and third place in the NL West. I think the Padres will most certainly make the playoffs. I think they're too good not to. And when they get Tatis back, it'll only help. But the Red, all these teams have an outside shot. If they don't win their division.
I look to the Mets and Phillies to be the teams that can maybe sneak in there, but outside of that, it seems pretty clear cut. The AL East, again, Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Yankees. You never know what's going to happen in that division. Then one of Houston or Oakland, and maybe Seattle. I think Seattle. I think those 6 teams will kind of be in a fight to not only win their divisions, but also to make to get those wild card spots. I think Seattle's going to taper off. I don't think they did enough at the deadline to stay relevant, but I think this is the last year we say that because they've got a brilliant system. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but they are still in the tunnel right now. I think they'll fan off come September. I think the Jays are a legitimate threat right now. They look pretty good since the trade deadline, since the All-Star break. I think they could pass Oakland right now. It's really a battle between the East and West in the AL here.
No central team. You could include Cleveland on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cleveland, they may not be as far back as some of the National League teams are to that second wild card spot, but I think just the talent base in the American League and the fact that Cleveland were kind of sellers at the deadline.
Yep.
And I think I don't think Cleveland is talented enough or have that type of poise yet. They're a very young team.
Yep.
To really make that push into the postseason. So I think this is the year we see Cleveland miss out on the postseason. And with that, that'll do it for our MLB Playoff Push video. Thanks for watching. If you like it, give it a like down below. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our other uploads. Comment who you think is going to make the playoffs and what you think of our playoff takes. And with that, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.